Your silence is making certain people uncomfortable. You have noticed it already. The little comments, the indirect remarks, the strange attempts to provoke you emotionally. And the interesting part is, they keep expecting a reaction from you, but it never comes the way they hoped. Because some people become deeply uncomfortable when they cannot emotionally control somebody, when they cannot pull anger out of you, cannot pull drama out of you. They cannot make you lose control publicly. That silence frustrates them more than arguments ever could. Hallelujah. You can feel the tension sometimes. They throw subtle disrespect, throw negativity, they throw emotional bait into conversations, and then they watch you carefully, waiting, hoping your emotions explode, hoping you finally react impulsively. But instead, you stay calm, you observe, you move differently now. That changes the entire dynamic because emotional discipline is powerful. Most people are controlled by emotions without realizing it. One insult changes their whole mood. One disagreement ruins their entire day. One emotional trigger controls their decisions completely. But the moment somebody can no longer manipulate your emotions easily, they lose power over you. Hallelujah. And that is exactly why your silence feels threatening to certain people. Because silence creates uncertainty. They cannot fully read you anymore. They cannot fully control the direction of the interaction anymore. And honestly, some people are so used to emotional chaos that calmness itself irritates them. Remember Jesus said in certain moments before his crucifixion, people tried to provoke him emotionally, constantly, tried to trap him through accusations, pressure, and manipulation. But many times his silence carried more power than reacting emotionally would have. And hear this carefully. Silence does not mean weakness. Sometimes silence is self control. Sometimes silence is discernment. Sometimes silence is wisdom protecting your peace. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every accusation deserves your response. Not every provocation deserves your emotions. Hallelujah. Part of your growth has been learning that reacting emotionally to everything only drains your spirit. It steals peace, it steals clarity, it steals focus. That is why you started moving differently, started observing more, speaking less, protecting your energy more carefully. And certain people noticed the change immediately. That's why the tension increased. Because emotional manipulators become uncomfortable when access to your reactions disappears. At first, they thought maybe one more comment will trigger them. Then, maybe one more disrespectful moment. Then, maybe if I keep pushing. Meanwhile, you're just standing there spiritually unavailable for the drama. Hallelujah. And let's be honest, sometimes your silence confuses people because they expected the old version of you, the version that reacted instantly, the version that explained too much, the version that emotionally defended itself constantly. But growth changed you. Now you understand something important. Protecting your peace is more valuable than winning every emotional battle. And hear this carefully. This does not mean suppressing emotions in unhealthy ways. Nope. You still feel things deeply, you still notice disrespect, you still recognize negative energy. But now you choose which battles deserve access to your emotions. That's maturity. Proverbs 17:27 says, "A person of knowledge uses words with restraint." Notice restraint, not weakness, control, discipline, wisdom. Many people destroy their own peace because they react emotionally to every provocation life throws at them, every opinion, every insult, every piece of negativity. Meanwhile, silence often reveals more than arguments ever could. Because when you stop reacting, people expose themselves naturally. And part of the reason your silence unsettles certain people is because they can no longer predict you emotionally. That unpredictability removes their control. So stop feeling guilty for protecting your peace. Stop thinking you must respond to every little thing. Stop believing silence makes you weak because emotionally disciplined people move differently. They do not allow every provocation to control their spirit. Hallelujah. Your silence is making certain people uncomfortable because they expected emotional access to you and you quietly took that power away.